I'm back. What's good, everybody? I know the page gonna be a little slow. We gotta work our way back up. So if you're seeing this video for the first time, you're seeing who I am for the first time, like, subscribe. I gotta get back into the algorithm on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? It's been a while. You know what I'm saying? But just remember, it's Lacavelli. I say stuff. Not looking for validation. I'm just keeping it real. And for all my ones that be in the comments talking, chatting, I love chatting with y'all boys, females as well too. So keep the comments rolling, you know what I'm saying? Some episodes I'll post the comments, we'll talk about it, you know what I'm saying? We're family. Go Ducks, go Ducks. But we got a lot of content coming. We got a lot. Finally got the office set up. Brand new office, you see it, you know what I'm saying? New PC, gonna be screaming, you know what I'm saying? NCAA 14 coming soon too. But you see part one, the title of this video, part one. Coach staff, new coach staff of Oregon, new era. So let's go ahead and jump into, wait, hold on. Let me change it real quick. Let me look look more presentable. Hold on. Oh, whew. Woo. Whew. There we go. Y'all see what's going on here. Y'all see what's going on here. Look at a little more presentable. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and jump into it, man. My initial reaction when we got Dan Lanning, it was a head scratch at first because he's still a new name in the realm of just coaching in general. He's still an upcoming name. I wasn't set in stone and like, yeah, this is splash higher, you know what I'm saying? Until I started like doing my research, where he's been at, who he's been around, you know what I'm saying? Who philosophy he picked up and threw in a pot with this person, that person, and just created one of his own, you know what I'm saying? Because people get inspiration from all over the place, you know what I'm saying? They just don't wake up one day and just become this great philosopher or this great wise thinker, you know what I'm saying? People go through stuff to get the stuff, you know what I'm saying? Everybody know how he was a high school coach, then he drove 13 hours to Pitt to become a GA. Yeah, I understand that. That's cool. But then you get into like, okay, this was a DC at Georgia, had a historic year, and they beat Bama. They lost the battle, but they won the war. And it's like they had a historic year, you know what I'm saying? And Georgia's been on the brink of winning a championship for a while now. For a while, you just needed that one little flip and you win one. Just like LSU. LSU was a quarterback away from being good and winning the chip. Then come along Burrow. But this ain't about LSU. This is about Oregon. And just looking at it as now, this is part one of the video. We're just gonna go through the coaching staff or the offense. And right off bat, let's just take a little timeline relapse of Dan Lanning and how he got to where he's at today. Okay, Dan Lanning, as you guys can see, played at William Jewell in Mizzou. His teammate was Trent Figg, who's a coach at Hawaii right now from 04 to 07. The boys balled out together. Now both of the boys at D1 level coaching, which is dope. That's dope. But as a high school coach from 2008 to 2010, he spent his time. In 2010, he just knew that it was time to be better, do better, and see better. You know what I'm saying? He took that drive from Pitt. From where he was all the way up to Pitt, 13 hours. Begged the coaches, yo, coach, man, let me get on this style. Come on, man, what's up, man? You know what I'm saying? I'm ready for it. I'm built for this. Let's go. Which is understandable. You know what I'm saying? I like that. Boom. 2011 hits. He becomes a GA. A year later, he goes to Arizona State to be a GA in 2012. The next year, he becomes recruiting coordinator at Arizona State, 2013. The year after that, he finally gets his big break. He becomes the DB coach at Sam Houston State out there in Texas in 2014. Now, this is something I wanted to pinpoint, highlight right here. I don't think a lot of people knew about this and haven't talked about it, so here we are. This isn't Coach's first championship that he saw. And let's go ahead and roll this picture real quick. As you guys see right there in the flesh, Coach Lanning was a GA for that national title winning team in 2015 with all the heavy hitters in this picture, as you guys can see. So this championship with Georgia wasn't his first championship, it wasn't his first rodeo. He actually won one in 2015 when they played Clemson and beat them in that historic matchup, legendary matchup, instant classic, 45-40 against Clemson, which was a great game. nonetheless. After that, 2016 rolls around. He leaves. And he goes to Memphis to be the inside linebacker coach. But not only that, you got Mike Norvell, who's the youngest head coach at the time, that got his big break. Also, who was at Arizona State. And also, there's a guy named Kenny Dillyham, a young kid at the time, was at Arizona State too. Well, we won't get into that. So, and also, another person they meet, which was at a lower level at the time. You know how Dillyham drove up after being a high school coach. It was a high school coach. Goes by the name of Coach Locklin, who's our running back coach. He was an OC at a school in Memphis, at a high school in Memphis. And one thing led to another. Now we got 3 of those coaches I just mentioned that all started in Memphis. Mention Memphis, that kind of rhymes. But all started in Memphis, now at Oregon. But let's stay on task with the timeline, right? So 2016 comes apart, and 2016 comes about. He's the inside linebacker coach. 2016 rolling around, he becomes the inside linebacker coach. He meets those coaches, you know what I'm saying? He stays there 2 years, right? Then it's off to Georgia. 2018, he becomes the outside linebacker coach. Then the next year, up until now, he becomes the co-DC. And one thing leads to another. You see what happens. They win a national championship. Now he's at Oregon. You know what I'm saying? Now we're here. So, pretty cool, pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the timeline is dope. He still got a lot to learn as a coach. He's not one of the coaches that's set in stone, that been there, done that been there like Saban and Kirby and Jimbo and all these long-time coaches. This coach staff is fairly young and fairly new to the coaching world. And not only that, most of them are great recruiters. But as we get through all these videos, what's going to be like 2 videos, this is the offense side of the video, you will see that they're great recruiters, but they're still fairly young. But they know what it takes to win. You know what I'm saying? They got a good idea of what it takes. And just being that young-minded coach, where it's like you keeping things fresh, it's not all the old school, because what worked back then in the old school don't work now with the new school. So stay with me. So moving along to Coach Dillyham. So as you guys see from the chart right here, the little buddy triangle, this is something I just drew up when I was doing my research. As you guys can see, Lanning was hired as an inside linebacker coach in December 2015. Reunite with Mike Norvell, who's the head coach at FSU now, who was the OC at Arizona State in 2012-13. When Lanning was a GA, Norvell then went on to hire Dillyham in 06 as a GA, then QB coach in 2017 to OC in 2018. So as you guys see, it's a big circle. These guys know each other well. They got great friendships. And if the opportunity presents themselves, you know what I'm saying, they're going to hire each other and rock out with each other, which is super dope. Now moving on to Kenny Dillyham and his timeline. So jump right into it, the successors. This is something, when I just said earlier, like learning your philosophies and learning stuff and taking stuff from different coaches and keeping that relationship with different coaches. You'll know who you want to talk to every day, and you know somebody you want to talk to about something certain compared to always a variety of things talking to other coaches, if that makes sense. But like I said, the successors on the screen right here, you got Mike Norvell at the time was the OC for Arizona State from 14 to 15. Your boy Dillyham was J. Remind you, the Arizona State offense was potent. It was good. It was nice. You know what I'm saying? Then, once again, Mike Norvell moves over to Memphis as the head coach from 16 to 18 and hires Dillyham as his QB coach and the OC. And once again, around that time, Memphis had a great offense. They had a power offense 2 of the years out of the 4 that they was there together. Moving along, the year after Dillyham leaves, he replaced Chip Lindsey, becomes Auburn OC 2019. And as you guys know, he was the OC, co-OC, what do you want to call it, when Bo Nix was there. Bo Nix won the Rookie of the Year on SEC. They had a flip of offense from being one of the worst offenses the year before to one of the best offenses in SEC. Not only to mention, they beat Oregon. They beat us that year, you know what I'm saying? It's whatever, it's cool. Back to it though. Now, after Auburn, he leaves and becomes the OC back with Norvell yet again at FSU 2020 to 2021 as the QB coach and OC. You know? So, With that being said, you see how it trickles with just going in a circle with each other. You feel me? Which is dope, you know what I'm saying? But the big question is, now that these coaches are here, now that we're getting players to stay, we got players leaving, what kind of offense will we be running? What offense will we be running? You know what I'm saying? And that's something I really want to know, and I was trying to take a deep dive of if Dillyham has the full offense and the full keys to this offense, what would his philosophy be? Because there's been other situations. He was up under his guy Norvell. Norvell was an OC guy himself too, so he learned from the Metro. You know what I'm saying? Then Auburn, he had the situation. Then went back in with Memphis. But like now, it's like, okay, he's now up under Norvell now. He has ties with Lanning, but Lanning is an OC. Lanning brought in Norvell as the OC, like, yo, you're my guy. You do what you do. You know what you're doing. You're young just like us. Let's do it. Let's be young innovators. So me being me, back at it, I did some deep diving, trying to figure out what it's going to be. Because at the end of the day, no matter who you are, when you're trying to get something done and it's just you're going to resort to how you know how to do it. Even though somebody will taught you a certain way this way, but if you done stuff for years after years the same way over and over, and then it's now your turn to be the boss and run something how you want to run it, in some way you're going to resort to the philosophy you know and you was taught that worked at different places. Meaning it worked at Memphis, worked at FSU. So what do? You had a new school, you got new players. You probably have better players than you did at the other school. Not saying that Oregon does. You know what I'm saying? Because in there, a person can have better players or the better rate players, but it's all about X and O's and who's in that spot and who's willing to go the distance. So let me go ahead and read this quote for you guys that I found, and I feel like we're gonna be good with QB battle. We're gonna talk about QB battle later, but with running backs, you know what I'm saying, all that stuff going on. But just listen to what Kenny Dillyham says, and it really got me fired up. Just listen to this. This is a quote that I want to lead this video off with that's really got me fired up, you know what I'm saying? And it makes sense. If you guys stay with what I said about being new places, knowing what you know, your philosophy. Philosophy is a big thing, you know what I'm saying? It's people that believe in philosophy. I'm a big believer in philosophy, you know what I'm saying? Like Socrates is one of my favorites. But this is what Coach Dillyham says when it was asked. Generally speaking, how would you describe your philosophy and scheme on offense? And this is the time when he just walked in at Florida State. They wanted to get to know who he was, what he do. And it's the same thing with Oregon, you know what I'm saying? And it wouldn't make sense, before I get into the score, it wouldn't make sense for Dillyham to come into Oregon trying some whole bunch of new shit that he never done before. When he done some stuff he already done and been successful at it. I would rather him go in and do the successful stuff than just trying shit and making an experiment. Because the Oregon program is not an experiment. You know what I'm saying? Like we you know what I'm saying, we up there, you know what I'm saying? This can be a year where we can go to a natty, you know what I'm saying? Generally speaking, how would you describe your philosophy and scheme of offense? Killing Dillyham says, pro-style offense that plays fast. I mean, that is our identity. We're a system built for playmakers, and when you look at the past and you look at the offense and what's accomplished, I mean, Coach Norvell and this system is one of two systems over the last 7 years to have a 1,000-yard receiver every single season. 2 years ago, my last year at Memphis with Coach Norvell, we had a back with 2,000 yards, another back with 1,000 yards, and a third back who accounted for, and a third back who accounted for total yards over 1,000. So he was all-purpose. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, just off that, guys, y'all gotta think. You know what I'm saying? We got the backs. We got the talent. Don't worry. I think he know what he's doing. Just learning who he is and what he talk about. I started, like, okay, you know what he talking about. You know what I'm saying? So, moving along, it is a system our quarterbacks account. If you play quarterback here, you're going to account for 3,500 yards, whether it's rushing, whether it's receiving at a minimum, and have roughly 35 touchdowns. Let's go. This is his minimum. You got to start somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You got to be realistic. You just can't be like, oh, my quarterback coming in, he got to have 5,000 yard passing. It don't work like that, bro. It's hard, bro. Any real coach know that you're going to want a minimum of 350 yards total. 100 rushing total, no matter how many backs equivalent for it, whatever, and 250 passing. It was just talking statistics, analytics, that's what you want. But that right there is a great start. You know what I'm saying? Let's finish off. That's been the standard since Arizona State, and those numbers has fluctuated. But it's a system that's going to adapt. But it's a system built around playmakers, and it's built for playmakers. There's not a better place to attract. There's not a better brand that attracts playmakers than the Florida State, which you ain't at Florida State no more. So I'm excited to have this system at this university. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, we could do a spread. You know what I'm saying? We could go pro style offense. It's all cool and dandy, but for him to know what it takes and know that guys need to be in position to make the right plays, and not only that, he went on to say that doesn't matter if the defense really knows. It's ball execution and knowing the playmaker's gonna get the ball, and that's just the realest stuff ever. Like some coaches, they're like, okay, they probably know we're finna go to this guy. Let's not even go to him. No, you gotta get your playmakers ball because they make and do great things. They got the ball in their hands, whether they know it or not. You can know something, but it's all about stopping it. And that's the realest spill ever, you know what I'm saying? But hey, I'm back. Glad to be back. I am Machiavelli. Hit that like button. I really need y'all to hit that like button, you know what I'm saying? Let's get this page back cranking up, you know what I'm saying? Subscribe to the channel if it's your first time, you know what I'm saying? And I'll see y'all part 2, which be right around the corner, you know what I'm saying? Because if we start dropping these bangers, I'm out.